Once upon a time, there was a young guy who had a really bad habit. Whenever he came up with a new plan or idea, instead of actually working on it, he would immediately start daydreaming about the results and the success. He'd get all excited over nothing. To make matters worse, he couldn't keep it to himself. He would brag to everyone about what he was about to do. Honestly, a lot of us do the exact same thing. One day, while walking down a road, he passed by a poultry farm. Suddenly, a light bulb went off in his head. Hey, why don't I start my own poultry farm? I already own a piece of land. He was thrilled just by the thought of it. The idea completely took over his mind. He kept obsessing over how massive his farm would get, how much money he'd make, and how successful he'd become. The reality? He hadn't even laid a single brick yet. He stayed up all night, just dreaming. The very next morning he rushed to his neighbors and friends, telling everyone, "I'm starting a poultry farm. Just watch. In 1 year I'm going to be rich. I'm gonna grind so hard." Everyone smiled and wished him the best. For the next 2 or 3 days, he did nothing but think. Then, he finally took a tiny bit of action and researched a little about the business. But as soon as he realized how much hard work it actually required, he found it too overwhelming. Taking real action felt too heavy for him. Within a few days, he completely dropped the idea. But now, he had a new problem. His neighbors started mocking him. Everywhere he went, people taunted him. "Hey, what happened to the big millionaire? Where's your poultry farm?" Feeling humiliated and deeply depressed, he was sitting under a tree one evening, drowning in regret. Just then, a wise old village elder happened to walk by. Noticing how miserable the boy looked, the old man sat down next to him and gently asked, "What's troubling you, son?" The boy poured his heart out. He said, "Every time I think of a new project, I get so excited about the outcome that I can't keep my mouth shut. I tell everyone my plans, but then I lose momentum and fail to follow through." The old man smiled and said, "All right, meet me at my house tomorrow morning." The next day, when the boy arrived, the elder was holding 2 seeds. He handed one to the boy and said, "Plant this right here in my front yard." The boy did exactly as he was told. Then the old man took the second seed, and they both headed out to the local market. Along the way, whenever the old man ran into someone, whether it was a neighbor or a child, he would show them the seed and boast, "Look at this seed. One day, this is going to turn into a massive, magnificent tree." The boy watched all of this, feeling a bit confused. The elder spent the entire day showing off that seed to anyone who would listen. By evening they returned home, and instead of planting it, the old man simply left that second seed out in the open on top of a rock in the yard. A few weeks passed, and the old man called the boy back over. When the boy arrived, his jaw dropped. The first seed, the one he had quietly buried in the dirt, had sprouted into a beautiful, healthy young plant. But right next to it, the second seed lay on the rock, cracked into tiny pieces and completely ruined because the birds had kept pecking at it all day. The wise old man looked at the boy and said, "Look at this. We spent all day showing off that second seed, bragging about how big it would grow. But we never actually planted it. On the other hand, we buried this first seed quietly, without seeking anyone's attention. While the rest of the world was busy rushing around making noise and going to markets, this seed was growing in absolute silence beneath the dirt. It had patience. It embraced the dark, put in the work, and grew without making a sound. Today it's a strong plant, and soon it will be a giant tree looking down at the world from above. He placed a hand on the boy's shoulder and concluded, "That is exactly what you need to do. Keep your goals, your plans, and your dreams to yourself, and just put in the work in silence."